Welcome to the Huddle. I'm Tim Gross, joined here by John Walk and Dave Byrne. Guys, it's the playoffs, and our top games that we're going to be talking about this week are Warwick at Cumberland Valley, and then we're going to go to Lampeter-Strasburg at York Suburban. So let's start with the Warwick game. It's a 6A game. Cumberland Valley, one of the top teams in the district throughout the season. They beat Central Dauphin, but Warwick had an impressive year itself. It's the first postseason appearance since 2010. The Warriors played Wilson tough. They beat Manheim Township. So how do you think they'll match up against Cumberland Valley?
Yeah, and today these are two games we're going to talk about where the teams were not quite sure of. Cumberland Valley in this game, they've lost 2 of their last 3, 4 of the last 5. But then again, they are in that vaunted Mid-Penn Conference, and they have played most of those teams close, even in those losses. Whereas the Warriors last week, they have this high caliber offense, and they were held to 17 points. It's only the third time this year they were held to 17 points or fewer all season. But their defense did show up. I think it was their first shutout of the year, and that's been a consistent part for them. You're asking me to pick a winner. The Cumberland Valley coach said after Friday's loss that he still thinks that CV has what it takes to go on and win the District 3, at least contend for the District 3 crown. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm going to give the edge to CV this week just because I like their defense a little bit more than Warwick's.
Warwick, they were in the red zone 5 times last week and cashed in 3 times, 2 touchdowns and a field goal, had a field goal blocked and threw a pick in the goal line. So Coach Locker was not pleased. Now they ran off an 18-play drive and a 16-play drive, and if they can do that this weekend, that's going to keep guys like Cumberland Valley's Josiah Quigley on the bench, or at least not active. I kind of like Warwick in this game, but Cumberland Valley's tough at home. Let's just ask Kempfield.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think Cumberland Valley is just so tough, and they go through that grueling schedule that I'm sure they're pretty worn out by this point. But I think once they get into the playoffs, it's kind of another breath of fresh air. And Warwick kind of has that same thing going on. I mean, they played a pretty tough schedule in Section 1 themselves. So Warwick, they've been pretty good with the turnovers. You mentioned the interception last week, but they've been, throughout the season, I think that's their first interception all season. So, if they can manage the turnovers and, like Dave said, put together some long drives and kind of keep control of the possession game a little bit, I think they have a chance, but I think Cumberland Valley is just good enough, and I think they'll find a way to win at home. Let's go to the other matchup in 4A, Lampeter-Strasburg and York Suburban. They both played Eastern York. That we know. Lampeter-Strasburg, they both beat Eastern York. But LS has had its struggles lately. They've given up 30 points or more in the last 5 games, while York Suburban has they're 5-0 when scoring 30 points this season. They've done it 5 times. So, which LS team is going to show up? The one that has beat Eastern York handily, or the one that's been giving up points in bunches lately?
I think it's the first one that you mentioned. Yeah, they were held to 6 points last week to a very good Cedar Crest team with a good defense. But York Suburban's defense, they're giving up about giving up about 20 points a game. They're scoring about 30 points a game, and Suburban's giving up 20 a game in a York Adams League that I don't know if it's as strong as the Lancaster Lebanon League. So I'd like the LS offense to get back on track this week. Plus, head coach John Mannion, been there forever, at least it seems like that. He's been on this stage plenty of times, and I think he'll have his guys ready to go. The one thing, again, I'm going to go York Suburban here. I'm going to give them the slight edge offensively. The reason being, if you look at the Lampeter-Strasburg offense, yeah, they put up a ton of points, but their defense hasn't proven to stop anyone this year, and they've been in tons of shootouts, and this is going to be an even better York Suburban offense than maybe others that they've faced. So a shootout, I'll go with the Trojans this week.
Yeah, I was one of those Lancaster Lebanon reporters who always believed that the LL was far superior to the YA 1AA, and that's been proven incorrect.
No? All right.
I think I kind of lean towards York Suburban too. LS is schizophrenic this year. I mean, you never know which team's going to show up. That said, Coach Mannion is very good at winning postseason games, but I give York Suburban the slight edge here too.
I'm going to go against you guys. I think Lampeter-Strasburg has been in the shootout situations, and they found ways to win and keep it close. And I think that experience kind of gives them an edge. If they end up in a shootout like this, I think they'll not be in a position where they're not sure what to do. I think that kind of has them conditioned to know how to approach those things, and they're not going to be rattled if it comes down to that. So I give them a slight edge. I think they have a chance, like you said, if their offense shows up and fires on all cylinders. Even if their defense is giving up points, I think they'll still have a chance. And when they have a chance, a big pass or a big offensive play is the difference, and I think they're capable of doing that. So those are our picks. You can watch the Huddle's picks every Thursday afternoon, and be sure to check out LancasterOnline.com every Friday night for all the final scores and results. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.